Going to GameStop as a kid was really a special occasion for me, and I have great memories of whenever I did go. And it wasn't that often, so I definitely had to make the most of it, and I definitely cherish these memories. The first time I ever remember going to GameStop, I think it was the summer vacation between the second and the third grade, because someone had told my mom that at GameStop you could get used video games for less than you could get them, getting them new. So I wanted Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga on the DS for my birthday. So we went there to see if they had it, and sure enough, they did. And I think it was like 12, $13, and my mom bought it for me, and that ended up being my birthday present. And I was absolutely amazed. I walk in here and there's just games everywhere. All right, it's not like it is now where GameStop's mostly just toys, clothes, etc. No, this was when GameStop was like games everywhere. Like they had shelves floor to ceiling just filled with games, and they had like multiple cases, like these rotating display cases of DS games, and I was just looking at them like, whoa, this is awesome. Quick note here, the only console I had at the time was a DS. But I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And my sister was looking through them as well. And I didn't want to leave, but unfortunately we weren't there for very long. But it was a really cool experience. It definitely was. And it wouldn't be until the fourth grade until I remember ever going to GameStop again. I believe this was the second time I went. I went to get a birthday present for my friend Rob, not using his real name, for my friend Rob's birthday party. And he was really big into Skylanders, and I wanted to get him Spyro the Dragon. I believe I bought him Spyro the Dragon, the Skylander, for Skylander Giants at GameStop. And again, going into GameStop again as a kid, it was like, whoa, this place is awesome. And they had so many Skylanders, if my memory serves me right. I'm just looking through them all. I'm like, whoa, these are all so cool, and there's so much stuff here. Man, this place is awesome. And I guess I should mention that my mom hated going to GameStop. All right, before we even pulled into the parking lot, she was ready to go. Whenever we went in, she's like, just hurry up and get out because she hates video games, unfortunately. So, I was always under a time crunch whenever I did go. And like I said, I didn't go very often. In fact, I think there might have only been one other time in elementary school which I went to a GameStop, and that was to see if they had like Lego Batman 2 on the DS, and they didn't. And it wouldn't be until the sixth grade, I think, until I ever went to GameStop again. And at this point, I had an Xbox 360. I don't really remember what I was going there for. I think I had some games I wanted to trade in. And of course, I didn't get much money for them. I think I used like three, four games to buy like one single game. I got a copy of of the original Assassin's Creed. That's what I bought. And I remember they discounted one of the games I was selling them, but they gave me a scratch disc. It's like they discounted me on selling them a scratch game, and then they just turn around and sell me a scratch game. And I was kind of like, really? Are you kidding me? But, it was what it was. I got my Assassin's Creed game. Unfortunately, it was in one of their replacement cases. Um, Obviously, I much rather would have had a complete in box game, but it is what it is. And I remember another time I went to GameStop. Now I think at this point we're going into the seventh grade. I don't know how I found out about it. One of my friends probably told me, but GameStop was having like a buy two get one free sale, and I had like one or two games to trade in. So we went to GameStop, and I bought Lego Lord of the Rings, a game called Cubed, and I wanted to get Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but my mom was like, no, that game's rated M. Go buy something else. And even though she let me buy the first Assassin's Creed, but whatever. So I had to find a game that was $5 or less in order to get the buy two, get one free sale. And the only other game I could find was a Bakugan game. And I was like, okay, well, I don't really know much about Bakugan, but this is literally the only other game here for $5 or less. So, all right, we're getting a Bakugan game instead. So I bring it to my mom, and I'm like, hey, how about this? And this game's rated E10. All right, so I thought for sure she'd let me get the Bakugan game. She's like, no, you're not getting a Bakugan game. Go get the Assassin's Creed game instead. So I'm like, Okay, I can have Assassin's Creed, but I can't have Bakugan. Okay. And I think my mom was like really trying to push me to buy puzzle games, instead of like, more violent games. She wanted me to play puzzle games. I remember there was this dude when I was at the store. She just randomly started talking to this dude, and she was like, "Hey, do you know any good puzzle games on Xbox 360?" And he was like, do you know Portal?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have Portal 2." He was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's all I know. I like games like this." And I remember he pulled out like a Splinter Cell game. He was there to buy like a Splinter Cell Blacklist or whatever it was. So he was like, "This is the kind of game I play. I don't think I can help you with puzzle games." And then my mom went over to the cashier. She was like, "What are some good puzzle games on Xbox 360?" And he was the dude that recommended Cubed. And that's actually a collection of 3 games. And it's a pretty fun game. Well, it's a pretty fun collection of games, I should say. And I think that was the last time I ever bought another game from GameStop. I would go to GameStop a couple more times. I think like one time I stole a couple DS games and got like 20 bucks, 20 some dollars. Believe it or not, I had like 2 DS games, two of the DS games or two of the DS Call of Duty games, and GameStop was offering over 10 bucks a piece for each of them, so I went and got like 20 bucks. Uh, so believe it or not. And when you're in middle school, 20 bucks is a lot of money. I do remember another time I would sell some games to GameStop and trade them for a gift card to get to one of my friends for his birthday. I think I would also sell like 2 other games to get some cash from GameStop. I do remember one time we went and there was a game for like $2, $3, and my mom said, "If you ask for another game, we're leaving right now." And I was stupid and I asked for another game, and she was like, "We're going right now." And she practically drags me out of the store because, again, she hated going to GameStop, and I was pretty sad by that. I was like, "Come on, Mom, can I at least sell these 2 games that I came here to sell?" She's like, "No, I told you you're not getting another game. Now let's go. We're going home." And she would later bring me back to the store to sell the games, but unfortunately the price had substantially lowered, and I wasn't too happy about that, to be honest. But yeah, in my entire childhood, I probably went to GameStop less than a dozen times, but I always really cherished it. I always tried to soak it in and absorb as much as I could. I think the last time I went as a kid was in 2017. I remember this specifically because they had like memorabilia for Call of Duty World War II and Tekken 7, and my mom thought that the posters for Tekken 7 looked evil. And she was like, "Oh, they're selling evil stuff here. Look at that. That's like the devil." And I don't know the name of the guy who's on the cover of Tekken 7, but she thought that was the devil apparently. And I was like, Mom, I don't know much about Tekken, but I'm pretty sure that's not true here. And now my memory might not serve me right here, but I think she said we're never going back here because they're selling evil stuff. That's what she said after seeing the Tekken 7 posters. Now I could be mistaken about that, don't quote me on that. But that was the last time I remember going to GameStop as a kid, which was sad, because I really liked going to GameStop. And this was before it is what it is now, where it's just toys, memorabilia, clothes, etc. I mean, back when I went to GameStop, it was just packed. There were games everywhere. And our local GameStop was actually a really, really small GameStop. And it was always just packed with people. I remember one time I went there. Well, one of the times we went there, you could barely walk around. Like, there were so many people in there, I don't even know if it was legal how many people were just crammed into this one little building. You're like bumping into literally everyone in the store just trying to work your way through it. And I do remember one time I saw a Skyrim shirt, and at first I was like, I wonder if my mom would let me buy this, and then I saw they only had it in size small, and I wore a large, so I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Now, a more recent memory, I believe it was last year, I took my wife to GameStop for the first time. She had never been to GameStop before, and she was absolutely blown away. She was like, "Whoa, this place is awesome." And she really loves Pokemon. She collects Pokemon cards. And she ended up asking me to buy her like a couple small packs and some card sleeves, and of course I bought them for her. I actually bought quite a few things for her from GameStop, like some Pikachu plushies and some various memorabilia. And she really enjoyed going to GameStop for the first time. That was definitely an experience for her, and I'm glad she was able to enjoy it. But yeah, those are some childhood memories I have of going to GameStop. And tell me some of your thought, or tell me some of your memories down in the comments. Did you go to GameStop as a kid? Did you go to some other game store? Let me know. I'd like to hear it. And thanks for watching, everyone. I do hope somebody enjoyed this video, and it is honestly sad to see how GameStop's just been dying, with the rise of digital gaming and subscription services, Game Pass, EA Play, etc. It's really sad to see GameStop just dwindling, and it's only a minute fraction of what it was. It's sad. But anyways, thanks for watching. For anyone new to my channel, I mostly play, review, and discuss zombie and horror games. Felt like doing something different today, but feel free to check out some of my other content if that maybe sounds interesting. Always remember that God loves you all very much. Have a blessed day. Peace.